Today we actually got some more quote-unquote leaks to go over. Now I say it in that manner because I want everybody watching this video right now, and if you see anybody else covering this, be wary with their videos too. Take everything you're about to see in this video with a huge grain of salt, because as of right now, this is just talk over on Twitter from sources that have been relatively reliable before, but as of right now, none of this is confirmed. Now, is it too early to be talking about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 coming down the pipeline potentially in the next year or so? Well, with the recent news update and announcement of a brand new Dragon Ball event outside of Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour being held in January of 2026, and even though there's still DLC releasing for it, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2's 10th anniversary is happening next year as well. I actually don't know. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 video, which that felt kind of weird to say, but hey, I'm not gonna lie, that bad boy kind of got a ring to it a little bit. Hopefully in the near future we'll be able to do a lot more videos discussing this. As of right now, rumored title. But anyways, in today's video we are going to be hopping back over on X again, because Clifford, who has been a relatively vocal source of information and news on Dragon Ball gaming, says that they were able to obtain some info on Xenoverse 3 from a quote-unquote reliable source in Japan that they can now share. Now again guys, I cannot overstate this enough. Take everything you are about to see and hear in this video with a massive grain of salt. I am not confirming anything. I don't think Clifford is confirming anything. This is just what they got from their source in Japan, and I'm just trying to relay the information from you guys. So the moment that any of this stuff whatsoever, even the title of Xenoverse 3 gets confirmed, you're gonna hear it here first. So without further ado, let's hop right in. He also has another tweet up here that we're gonna go over after this one, but this is the initial tweet from 2 days ago at this point. So the tweet is gonna start off by saying, info on Xenoverse 3 that I obtained from a reliable quote-unquote source in Japan and can now share. So supposedly Xenoverse 3 is well in development, and I'm gonna be honest, I at least have faith that it is in development. Now I'm not gonna say everything that I've heard, but I do feel like the game at least exists. Not putting anybody or anything on blast, but at least from what I know, from what I've heard, that people that might be a little bit closer to the situation than me, like I personally believe the title of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 is more than likely in development. Again, not confirming or denying anything, this is just what I believe. So next is going to be numerous delays in some aspects have been completely redone from scratch. So this could potentially be a reason why the game, if it is in development, has been in development so long without any type of announcement or just any acknowledgement of this being a thing at all. Next, they're gonna say graphically it is very beautiful. Now I'm glad to hear this, but this is probably the most vague aspect of the information that they were given. I think that of course an upgrade from Xenoverse 2 is definitely gonna be way more graphically and visually appealing than Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2. It has to be. I don't know, it's just something about how Xenoverse 2 looks graphically I'm just not the biggest fan of. So next they're gonna say a playable version already exists, and I know they can't really get into specifics, but this is also really vague. This could mean anything from a really bare bones version of the game that they're just testing code on, to anything from a pre-alpha to a closed beta or something like that, right? And anything in between. So that's really vague. Hopefully we'll get more information and maybe some footage as the next year progresses. And then the last thing they're gonna say here is releases in 2027 or 2028. Now if my, let me adjust my glasses, if my calculations are correct, I think we got the initial Sparking Zero announcement in early 2023, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like that first initial trailer about it being like the successor to the Tenkaichi series, that was in early 2023. I want to say like in March or April-ish time, like in the early spring, late winter type season, and we eventually got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero releasing in late 2024 in October. So if this promotional timeline and run kind of plays out in the same manner as Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I don't think it's too extremely far-fetched to maybe get at least the announcement of the game at this event in January. If we don't get it in January, maybe at Battle Hour or maybe at some other Dragon Ball event next year. Who knows? This could happen at any point next year if it is to happen, right? Again, nothing is confirmed yet, but if this is to be announced at some point next year, the timeline of it being released in 2027 or even early 2028, it kind of fits that given what we saw with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So next we're gonna look at a more recent tweet from Clifford regarding Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3's potential announcement and information regarding the game, where they wanted to address some clarifications regarding the initial tweet that they put out. So over here, this is going to read some clarifications. Graphically, the game would adopt a cell shading style, to be confirmed. If this is the case, I cannot wait. I feel like this is a natural step up from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Again, I'm not really the biggest fan of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 graphically. I know the game came out in like 2016, but even so, but I gotta be honest, if they were able to do something like this, if the Dragon Ball Xenoverse series even took one step closer to fighters graphically, this game is gonna be absolutely gorgeous. Now, the next thing is going to say regarding the release, we will be looking at potentially a late 2027 or even early 2028 release. And like I said on the last tweet, this would kind of line up with a promotional roadmap that they had with Sparking Zero, with that being announced in, again, you might have to fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure that the initial trailer that we got for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, where I don't even think we knew the name of the game yet, that was at some point in 2023, and then of course the game ended up releasing in late 2024. Now, the last point that they're going to reference is, in my opinion, it's still too early for us to have an announcement at the Genki Dynasty or at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour. I don't really know about that, especially if you're aiming for that late 2027 release. I feel like maybe summertime at the latest we would get an announcement, but I could be totally wrong, and I'm fine being wrong. I've been wrong before. This is why I say take everything that you hear in today's video with a grain of salt. We might not get a Xenoverse announcement until late next year. Who knows, if one at all. Clifford, of course, has their own sources in Japan, but guys, just remember, nothing has been confirmed as of yet. And if this part right here is true, well, they're saying that this is in their opinion. It might be too early for us to get the announcement at the January Dragon Ball event. If that's true, then I have no idea whatsoever what kind of Dragon Ball game is going to get announced there. Again, we just got a trailer for a new Dragon Ball game a couple of days ago. We just got 2 new Dragon Ball games within the past year with Genshin Squadra and Sparking Zero. And those are all 3 different genres of games. So if it's not Xenoverse 3, I don't know what it could be, but let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of these quote-unquote leaks for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Do you think this title is even real? Do you think it's in development right now, or do you think this is all just a crock of? Again, I kind of have some confidence for my own reasons that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 is real. We just have no clue when we get any type of announcement from it. I gotta know what you guys are thinking, because my brain is going a million miles a minute. Do you think that the new Dragon Ball title that's going to be getting announced at the Dragon Ball Genki Dynasty event next year in January is potentially going to be Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, or is it going to be something else? Let me know down below in the comments. And also, not just gaming, but when it comes to the 2 new Dragon Ball projects that we learned were getting announced next year at the same event as well, personally, I would love for it to be the Moro Saga in movie format. But do you guys think it could potentially be some kind of continuation for Dragon Ball Daima as well? I've seen talks of this potentially being a thing as well. I think Clifford even mentioned this on their page too, if you want to go search through it, which would explain a lot of the open-endedness with the end of Dragon Ball Daima, especially with the whole fusion debacle that we never got, but they teased it throughout the entire series. So if that was to be a thing, honestly, I would love any type of continuation for Dragon Ball Daima. Of course, things are gonna be, I mean, let's just be completely honest here. Dragon Ball won't be the same without Akira Toriyama on board anymore, but I do still have faith in some of the parties involved, at least, that they have the best interests of the franchise and the fans at heart. But anyways, fellas, let me know what you think about all this down below in the comments. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, my boys.